So every single movie that's coming out right now needs to be like some sort of political statement. It's quite fascinating that you see progressive journalists with some sort of reputation that you would think they would uphold, willing to die on this hill just to defend the new movie coming out of Netflix, which is called Cuties. Now, I can't show you the actual trailer here because I think YouTube would outright flag it. Like, believe it or not, YouTube does have some common sense and is not being run by people that are far right. I mean, let me tell you just how YouTube works. Twitch is a perfect counter example. So on Twitch, they consider themselves to be a family-friendly platform. Even though it's a well-known fact that there's a lot of underage boys that take their mom's credit cards, buy bits, and then spend those bits on titty streamers. Like, that is known, Khaleesi. And you see a couple of women on Twitch doing things that aren't allowed on YouTube. So, for example, there's this girl, Zombie Unicorn. She painted her boobies. And abhorrent, right? Like, at least not on Twitch. Like, if you do on Chatterbait, like, I would understand. But she did it on a family-friendly platform. If you were to take those images of her performing those artistic activities and put them on YouTube, you'd get a community strike. Because YouTube is able to use some common sense. So I'm pretty sure that if I were to take the new Netflix trailer from Cuties and show it here, YouTube would strike me down. Now, I can't do that, but what I can do is to show you a review from IMDb, which calls it lawfully defined as pedophilia. And they say, during one of the many highly sexualized and erotic dance scenes that purposefully exploit and objectify numerous scantily clad underage girls, one of the female child dancers lifts up her crop top to fully display her bare breasts. This is lawfully defined as pedophilia and can be extremely distressing to many viewers. No fucking shit it is. Obviously, I think Turkey flat out banned this. There's very few times where I advocate for censorship, but, you know, this is drawing a line from common decency. Like, it's no political statement here. It's just utter degeneracy, which Netflix is partaking. And even according to the American version of free speech, the Supreme Court of the United States is describing obscenity as being something outside of free speech. So I fully agree, like, this is disgusting. I mean, I saw the kids, the 11-year-olds, doing all these perverted dances and humping the ground and mimicking how they're having a fist and they're doing the up and down motion. You know, it's just... What else do you want me to say, right? So a lot of people are disgusted about it. A lot of people are shutting down their Netflix accounts. And you have the mainstream media willing to choose this hill to die on by insulting the people that are legitimately disgusted of what they're seeing. And by the way, I want to point out before we get into the articles that this is not the first time Netflix is doing something like this. Like, this is an entire trend which Netflix is doing, like having drag kids, AJ and the Queen. Like, they're slowly trying to push the envelope to see, like, where is the limit? Where do people have enough? I mean, they even have like an entire comedy show with kids hanging around like all these vagina monsters and stuff. I think it's called Big Mouth or something. And it's kind of funny that on Twitter they complain about Uzaki-chan of all things, which is an anime, it's a cartoon. The person there is over the age. You know, like the cartoon is primarily targeting towards teenagers, so I really don't see the problem, but everyone sees the problem with Uzaki-chan, and I know the same people that are abhorred by Uzaki-chan defending this shit. And the way they defend it is like, well, you know, it's artistic, and it's actually supposed to allegedly be against child exploitation, like to horrify the people, to send the notion that child exploitation is bad. And the final one is to point out that this is art. So let's, and that it got some award, all right, from the French. Now, it's funny because the one of the people in the jury that gave the award is a convicted pedophile. So, like, this says more about the award and the French than it does say about the movie. The second one is that it is art. Okay, now, just because it's art, if you were to have some art of, I don't know, like someone disemboweling a cat and you put it in a museum, I don't think that the problem is with the people that are offended and grossed out by it. Like, I don't think it's those people that are the issue. You know, the issue is what were the people thinking of having that on display. Like, that is the main issue. Now, if you really want to defend, you know, like free speech and free expression and whatnot, it's like, fine, yeah, you know, have it there, but don't be shocked when people are just going to start canceling and call it disgusting and vile, which is pretty much what it is, right? And then it's like the idea that this is sending a message in order to fight against child exploitation. Like, man, I don't know. If I were to make a movie that is about stopping, let's say, prostitution, and throughout the movie I have like this erotic thing where I constantly show, you know, erotic scenes with prostitutes, and do you really think that I'm getting the message across? Like, is there no better way to do it? And whatever happened with hiring actors that are over the age? Like, no one would have had a problem if the people playing and starring in the movie were 18. I mean, that would have been fine. You know, like, actors are supposed to act something, so they don't have to actually be children. Why did you choose to actually have kids in this? So anyway, like, a lot of people are pissed, and as we're going to see, the mainstream media is actually attacking the people that are upset. So look at this. Cuties Netflix review: a provocative powder keg for an age terrified of child sexuality. Yeah, I mean, it's called being normal. Alright? Like, I think you're the problem for not being terrified. I mean, personally, I think there is something important about defending child's innocence, and I don't think it's ever okay to put a child into the situations that have been placed on this movie. And then not only that, it's forget the moral panic. Netflix controversial French import is disturbing and risque because that's exactly what it aims to be. Like, I'm really sorry, but if you're going to make a video about fighting against the cruelty of animals and all the movie is going to be about animal gore and animal smut, I don't think people want to watch that. You know, like, again, there are other more sensible ways of getting your message across. And not to mention, like, what is the message? What is the message? Okay, child exploitation is wrong, right? Like, that's the message. So what does this movie do? Exploits children in order to make money. How is this, like... No, seriously, am I in the wrong here? Like, are they not doing exactly what they're claiming that they're fighting against? And apparently they're fighting against all these children competitions where they dance and whatever. Like, this is very disturbing and bizarre. And then you have, like, Cuties deserves better than it got from Netflix. And for those who condemn it, sight unseen. Like, I don't need to see some shit in order to know it's vile. You know, if you tell me you have a dead dog behind the counter, I don't need to look at it. Like, I can actually use my mind and realize, okay, that's not for me. And you know what? It's funny. Like, these are the same people that attacked the Joker, the movie, without seeing it. Like, these are the exact same people that will attack things like Alita Battle Angel without seeing it. And all of a sudden, they want people to see it. So, I should pay money. I should waste moments of my life looking at vile filth before I can say something about it. Like, what is this nonsense standard? And look at this. Cuties, the extraordinarily Netflix debut that became the target of a right-wing campaign. Oh, so now being against... What did they call it? What did they call it? Let's go back. Man, like, these people, I swear to God, that's sarcasm. But, like, people terrified of child sexuality. So, if you're terrified of child sexuality, you're right-wing? Is this what it is? Like, you're a right-wing person if you don't like seeing children placed in provocative pictures? Are you insane? Are you kidding me? Like, these are the journalists, right? These are the people that are constantly moralizing others and telling you how to live a good life. Like, every time there's a news out there, these journalists are the ones that are going to tell you what you should think about that particular news. And they're the ones that, oh, we need to take a stand against racism, sexism, homophobia, LGBT, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, they constantly talk about being a moral person, and this is what you're doing. Look at this. Like, it's not over. Like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? There's no reason for them to do this. They're not stockholders at Netflix. They're not part of the movie production. Why are you defending this? Why? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, what is your meat in this race? Your horse in this race, huh? Well, look at this. A coming-of-age movie. Coming of age. Coming of age. Like, girls that learn how to do sexualized dances is a coming of age? Coming of age, becoming prostitute? Is this what coming of age is? You know what? I'm willing to bet that none of these people, if they had daughters, would want this for their daughter. I'm telling you something from experience. All of these people that are progressive as fuck, they raise their children in a very conservative manner. Almost all the time. Look at Hollywood. You know, some of the most progressive people, some of the people that say the correct things, they always have the same progressive stances, and look how they're raising their kids. I guess the only exception is Will Smith. Like, he would be the only exception that actually raised a progressive child. And I bet even his daughter, like, even when it comes to his daughter, he wouldn't be okay if his daughter became, what is it, like a twerk dancer and showing off tits in front of an audience. Disgusting. Coming of age movie, caught in the culture wars. Thanks to major marketing mistake. This award-winning French movie, like, they keep saying it's award-winning. Yeah, there's something wrong with the award. When are the left going to get that? Just because you managed to put the correct people as the ones giving the awards doesn't mean that the award is still worth it. Right? Like, if I were to make a movie and I would get that French award, I would burn that film at this point. Because I would know, like, no, there must be something wrong with my movie. It got a French award. No. It's like video games. You know, when Crusader King came out, it got 10s and 9s from all these publications, and I was like, why is it getting so bad reviews? Like, I should be afraid of buying it. Like, what is wrong with it? Anyway, I needed to vent, because I generally, like, to me, it's really annoying that, because I know a lot of people that actually get morality from these publications. Like, they actually read the news, and you get to see that whatever the news is saying, whatever the beef of the month is, and you see it in that paper, that is what that person is focused on. That is what he's upset about, right? And this is what these publications have to say about something that shouldn't be controversial at all. It's like, no, it's a disgusting movie. People are in the right not to watch it or to cancel their Netflix account. You know, like, I'm not saying Netflix should remove it. You know, it's up to them. Like, if this is the type of company Netflix wants to be, and constantly they push the envelope more and more and more, and they're also a political company, because they're not just like a platform. You know, like, that's another thing. You know, like, if you want to talk about free speech, they're not just like a platform that allows any type of movie there. Like, I have a doubt that if you were to portray the Nazis in a positive light, Netflix would allow you to have that movie there, right? So give me a break with this shit, because we all know that Netflix is a very woke and politically savvy company with political opinions and, you know, with moral stances. And if they want to be that, that's fine, but I'm going to hold them to account. This is not moral. They need to get fucked.